Hey guys, so Christina Horner created a dream tag, and I'll leave a link to her video in the description, but basically she wants us to tell our best dream, worst or scariest dream, and weirdest dream. And I actually am not a person who typically remembers my dreams. In the past year, I probably only remember like one or two. And most of my dreams tend to be really rambly and with no like real point or storyline to them, but I have a couple that kind of have storylines, and so hopefully this is interesting. I think my best dream would have to be the dream where I was abducted by aliens, and once I got on the UFO, they had me like down on the table thing, you know, like the stereotypical kind of thing, and it wasn't really scary, even in the dream. And then, I don't remember what was happening, but I'd been abducted by the aliens, and then I look over and, like, the cast of the Harry Potter movies is also there. It shows a lot about my life that most of these dreams that I'm going to talk about involve Harry Potter in some way, but, it was the cast, it wasn't the characters of the books, but Daniel Radcliffe kind of like took a leadership role amongst us, and we decided that we were going to escape from the UFO. And the aliens just kind of disappeared, and it ended up being really easy to get off the UFO, so that wasn't really exciting. They pretty much let us off at the end, I think. But once we got let off the UFO, we, like, everyone I knew was there. And, like, for some reason, even though I was with the cast of the Harry Potter movies who are all British, we ended up at my, like, where I live, the town, and, just, like, everyone I went to school with, and my family, and everyone was there, and so the dream ended with us recounting how we got off the alien UFO. For worst or scariest dream, it's actually kind of a tie. I had two Harry Potter related nightmares, and they actually happen really close to each other, and I cannot choose which one is scarier. The first one involved the Chamber of Secrets. I had this when I was in middle school, and I went to a really small school up until high school, and there were like 12 kids in my class, and in the dream, there was a Chamber of Secrets in our school, and kids started dying. The really weird thing was that even though kids were dying in the dream, no one was actually disappearing, because like I said, very small school, but yet everyone was still there in my dream, but we're still freaking out because people are dying, and we don't know what's going on or what's happening. And then one of, my best friends runs into the basilisk and ends up killing the basilisk while I watch in like complete horror. So my best friend kills the basilisk, and then the dream kind of like cuts to where I'm at home, and not only am I at my house, but it's like storming and everything, and like really stormy weather, huge loud thunder and everything. And the principal from my school is at my house, along with my parents, trying to convince me to go back to school, because I refuse to go back to school after seeing my best friend kill the basilisk. I'm just so horrified that I refuse. The funny thing is that throughout the entire dream, I had been going to school while the basilisk was killing people, but it's once the basilisk is dead that I refused to go back. The other Harry Potter related nightmare I had that kind of ties with that one involved Dementors coming to my house and attacking my family. The really weird thing about it is, like, as we all know, Dementors can't actually see. They sense you by your, like, emotions and fear and whatnot. And the funny thing is we did end up hiding from the Dementors, and they couldn't see us, and so they didn't find us, because dreams obviously aren't logical. But like I remember being with my sister, and we went and hid in our room, because I think I had this dream when we still shared a room, and so we were hiding in our room from the Dementors, and I don't know where my mom or brother were. I don't think they were even there in the dream. I think it was just me and my sister at home, and then the Dementors came, and they didn't see us, and we hid, and then they left because they couldn't find us. And then I go running downstairs looking for my dad, and I found my dad, and he was under the Imperious Curse, and I got really freaked out because I didn't know what to do about my dad, And then I woke up, like, as soon so I realized that he was under the Imperious Curse, went running back to my sister to tell her, and that's when I woke up. I also think I have a tie for weirdest dream. They're kind of weird. I don't know. I think one of them is kind of weirder than the other, but one I just, like, have to tell because it was strange. I don't usually remember my dreams, but one thing that does always happen is the night before the first day of school. I've always had a dream about the first day of school. Even this year, starting college, I had a dream before I moved in about moving in. But my senior year of high school, the day before, I had a dream. Okay, my high school was like a rectangular kind of shape, and you had a commons on this side, and the commons was like where we ate lunch. The juniors, or the sophomores, juniors, and seniors lockers were there. The office was there. It's where you entered and left the school and everything, and then all the classrooms are over on the other side. So, like, everything kind of centers around the commons, and we normally, this half of the commons is like lockers, and this half is tables where we eat. And we walked in on the first day of school, and all of our lockers have been taken out and replaced. And our lockers are usually blue because that's one of our school colors, or not usually, they are in real life. And they've been replaced by these like bright yellow lockers that are now taking up the entire commons. And I'm pretty sure the commons had like expanded so it was bigger. So it's just like this huge maze of lockers, but they're not even normal lockers. They're really weirdly shaped. It's almost like a jungle gym of lockers, and I don't even know where my brain came up with that. But my sister and I like leave each other, and we're like wandering through the lockers. We have to find our lockers, but it's not just that the lockers are weirdly shaped, it's that they're like stacked on each other. And so some people have lockers way up high that you have to like climb on top of other lockers to get to your locker, and they're all like weirdly shaped. So some of them are like big and some are small. And finally I found my locker, and I was talking to kids that I went to school with in the dream, but I can't even remember who it was who was in the dream. But I like found my locker, and it was way up high, and I had to like climb up to it and get into it. And I had like a really small locker because it was so weirdly shaped. I had to like stuff my backpack in, and I couldn't get it in. And then my sister wandered back over, and I remember talking to a bunch of my classmates and my sisters about how weird the lockers were. And that was the entire dream. I had an entire dream centered around oddly shaped lockers. The other weirdest dream involved going on a class trip, and I again was back in middle school in this dream at the really small school, but I'm not actually sure if I was in middle school. I think it was in high school when I had this dream. I think I was a freshman or sophomore, but I was in middle school in the dream, and we'd gone on like some trip. I don't know. It was kind of like we were all in sleeping bags on the floor of this big empty warehouse type building for some reason, and I feel as if it was somewhere around the time of reading The Hunger Games that I had this dream, because I can see that connection. But my dad was with us, I remember, as like a chaperone, and I don't know why my dad and sister feature so much in my dreams and my mom and brother don't. I really have no idea what that is about. But it was breakfast time, and we were all still sleeping, and they threw a bunch of boxes of donuts out in the middle of this floor, because remember, it's like a huge empty space, and we had to fight over the donuts in order to get breakfast, and I was the last one over there, and I didn't get any donuts. And that was seriously the dream. And then I went to my dad, who had gotten food, and told him that I hadn't gotten any, and he just told me that that sucked and didn't give me food. So yeah, that was that dream. So yeah, I hope that was at least somewhat interesting. Like I said, my dreams don't really have like storylines, they're just weird random things, and those are seriously some of like the only dreams I can ever remember having, because I tend to forget them. But yeah, I hope that you kind of enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.